Did you know that you can track what content from a specific website is being shared most often on Twitter? Well, you can, and it's actually pretty easy to do. We track many web domains belonging to healthcare organizations, government public health offices, and more. And when we track a domain, we'll capture every tweet that has a link in it that points to that web domain. Now, let's say that we owned the website escardio.org. And let's further say that we had a marketing campaign in January of this year, and we'd like to now go back and review our website content that was being shared, specifically by doctors, during that month, along with all the associated activity to analyze the efficacy of that campaign. So for starters, I'm going to build a dashboard using that web domain as the data source. And I'll just click on our search field and type ES Cardio. There it is, listed with the URL. I'll click on that and make that my data set. Next, I'm going to jump back to January of this year, and we'll start our dashboard with January the 1st. And then I'm going to also pick January, but this time the 31st for the endpoint. And there's our date range. Now I'll choose my Create button to build the dashboard. And as this dashboard loads, I'm going to scroll down to the Trending Articles report. Here we go. This is where we'll be able to see those web pages that we're being linked to. And by default, this will list the top 50 pages on our website that were being shared in tweets during the month of January 2021. Now, we can change that right here. Maybe I want to make it the top 100 or top 250, but I'm actually just going to leave it at 50. Now, the ranked order of these web pages is by default using the simpler rank algorithm. This means their order is not just based on which were being shared most often, but it's also influenced by who was sharing the link and how influential were the parties that were engaging with the tweet that the link was shared in. Within these top 50 web pages being shared, we can click on the doctor button up here where the stakeholders are, and this would filter those 50 pages to show us which among those the doctors were sharing. But if we want the entire top 50 to be determined by doctor tweets only, then we'll want to apply a global stakeholder filter on the dashboard. So let's do that. I'm going to come up to the top right here where it says Add Filter. And I'm going to choose a stakeholder filter to include, and then I'll pick doctors. Now I'm going to hit my Run option. The entire dashboard has now been reloaded only considering doctor tweets. And now the Trending Articles widget is showing us all the results based only on tweets made by doctors and what links to our website they were sharing. Next, we'll switch from the simpler rank order to see just what the doctors were sharing most frequently, regardless of their level of influence or the quality of engagement being received in the tweet in which the link was shared. To do that, I'm going to select my gear icon in the upper right. And I'm going to change it from the simpler rank, which is the default, to shares. That'll just rerun this one report widget. Now the Trending Articles widget is showing us the top 50 web pages on our site that were being linked to in tweets made by doctors during the month of January 2021. And now as a final step, we can look at what was being said by these doctors in their tweets when those links were being shared. I'm going to select this one right here, and you'll note the conversation icon down here. That's telling me that there were 20 shares of this article by doctors. And if I click on that, it'll open up a transcript from the right-hand side of my screen, and this reveals the tweets made by doctors that were sharing that link. Understanding what content of yours is resonating with select stakeholder groups can be helpful when developing a longer-term content and/or engagement strategy. And it goes beyond traditional website analytics by drawing on social data in a way to gain unique insights and with great detail. What's more, in this exercise, we imagined that we were looking at our own web domain. But in truth, you can use this exact same approach to assess other web domains. So this use case may fit in with your competitive analysis as well.